Organic farming is always better than conventional farming, right? Well, there is a valid argument that states that you could, which is true, get more crop per acre conventionally than you can organically. So why would that be better for the planet? Well, you've got to destroy less wilderness to convert into farmland if you could get more crop per acre when growing crops conventionally. My name is Paul Pasulka, IB Masters Learning Center at IBMasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 5, Section 1, number 31, which reads, which of the following claims is supported by Figure 2? So you want to make sure you understand exactly what's going on with Figure 2 before you look at the answer choices. Figure 2 reads, organic yield as a percentage of conventional yield by species. And at 100%, the organic yield is the same as the conventional yield. The number of observations for each species is shown in parentheses. So observation of each species shown in parentheses. In other words, there were 74 species of maize tested, 19 species of barley tested, etc., etc. So what is going on here with this percentage thing? So in other words, if we're to look at wheat, it looks like it's at about 60%. In other words, if you had a field where you could grow 100 wheat crops in a conventional farm, then you could only grow 60 of those crops organically. So we're going to look at, keeping that in mind, we're going to look at answer choice A for number 31, which reads, of the organically grown species represented, soybeans have the lowest yield. So when we look at the chart, soybeans are actually at just shy of 90%, maybe they're 89% there. The lowest yield, as we saw over here, is wheat. Now, why do students pick answer choice A all the time? Because it's actually the lowest on the graph. This is the lowest point, here's the highest point. But if you notice, there's no y-axis labeled at all. These are just staggered vertically so that they're not all on top of each other. It would have been a little simpler if they were put all in a line instead of staggered up and down. But it's a common wrong answer, that's why, and it looks like our soybean is actually the highest yield, wheat is the lowest. So we go back to our answer choices. A is gone. Answer choice B. The organically grown maize and barley represented are comparable in their yields to conventionally grown maize and barley. So we look at maize and barley, and whereas our maize is a triangle and barley is the open circle, they do not look like they're comparable in their yield. If they were, then one would be right on top of the other. They'd both be around 85%, and both be around 65%. So we're going to eliminate answer choice B as well. Answer choice C. Of the organically grown species represented, tomatoes have the highest yield. I think we already saw that tomatoes do not have the highest yield. Just check it out though. Tomato is the square. Tomato is lower than soybean, and it's also lower than maize. Answer choice C is gone. It must be answer choice D. Answer choice D reads, the organically grown species represented have lower yields than do their conventionally grown counterparts do. That is the correct answer. And we'll just visit the graph one more time in order to drive that point home. Here, if you've got a field, the easiest way to think of it is if you've got a field where you could grow 100 crops of, let's say, where you could grow 100 crops of wheat. In a conventionally grown field, you could only grow 60 crops in the organically grown field. If it's 100 crops of barley, you can only grow maybe 65 of them. If you could grow 100 crops of tomato, you can only grow about 78 of them. If you grow 100 crops of maize, you can only grow about 83 of them. And 100 crops of soybean, you could grow about 88 of them. So, based on how it's titled and what this chart is measuring, you can see that organic yield across the board is lower than conventional yield. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with graphics in the reading section or graphics in any section. If you have any question you'd like to answer from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything.